Hello and welcome. In this video, we will be going through what a relative position is. A relative position is a position that is relative to the normal position it was created in. So, and the relative position is affected when the top, right, bottom, or left properties are adjusted. So by default, when you see a relative positioned element, they appear normal, like they are static, but they can be repositioned using the top, right, bottom, or left properties to adjust from the normal static position. But when they are created, they do assume a static position which can be affected by setting the properties for the top, right, left, or bottom corner. Let me show you an example. It's always better when you see the examples for these. Okay, I've got three divs here. I've given these divs a width and a height so that they are pronounced. I've also displayed them in line block. So divs are block elements. That means when they're created, they appear on separate lines. But I've used the display property to stack them up horizontally. So if I expand this browser, you can see. So these are the boxes. So at the moment, I've set the position at the moment is normal or static because this is how they are created. But watch out for the green box here. I am going to apply a relative position which will affect it, and it will move from the original position compared to the blue boxes. I have applied a relative position to the green box here. I have made some movement. I have told it to move 30 pixels from the top and also 30 pixels from the left. So by doing this, it will shift it from the original normal position of the other blue boxes. So let's see that in full screen. All right, so this is the green box. I have applied a pixel value of 30. I told it to move in relative to the original position. The original position is the way the blue boxes are. So I've now told it to move 30 pixels from the top, to move down from 30 pixels from the top, move 30 pixels. And I've also told it from the left to move 30 pixels. So that is top, right, bottom, left. So from left here, I've told you to move away 30 pixels. Hence you see that the gap, if you look at the gap between these two, it's almost normal, but the gap here is wider because this green box has moved. So it's altered the position relative to the other blue boxes. What happens when a relative position occurs and an element is moved? The space, if you notice, it's created some space. That space is not occupied by any other element on the page. If you look at, we've got a H tag here, heading tag, and we've got a paragraph text here, paragraph tag, and also the other blue boxes, but none of them will take up the space created by this box moving from its original position. So the other content or the other divs on the page will not be adjusted to fit into any gaps provided by this green box here. So this is how a relative position works. When an element is set with a relative position, you can adjust any of the corners, the top, the right, the bottom, the left. And when you adjust it, it will obviously create some space because it would have moved or shifted from its original position. However, the gap that is left is not occupied or adjusted by the other elements on the page. If you notice, all the other elements they've maintained the original position. The paragraph tag here, the heading tag, and these blue boxes, the divs, they've all kept their position. The only thing that has moved is a green box because it's had a relative position set on it, but the gaps it left is not occupied, so the gaps will be left there. None of the other elements on the page will take up that space. In this video, we went through what a relative position is. A relative position can have the top, right, bottom, and left properties of a relatively set element affected. But what happens, the space or the gap created by that element moving is not adjusted or occupied by any other element in that page. So the only element that is affected is the element that the relative position is applied to. Every other element on the page maintains their position. Thank you so much. I hope the video has made sense. It's been a pleasure doing this for you. Bye for now.